is at an all-time high. Where once we hid in our parents' basements, everyone is stepping out into the light and embracing fandoms with a newfound vigor. One man hopes to gather and speak with them all. This is the place where all fans can come and discuss the things they love, the things they hate, and maybe, just maybe, discover something new to devote all their time to. Welcome to the Nerd Podcast to rule them all. Prepare to fall into the Nerdyverse of Madness.
Hey everybody, welcome to the first episode of the Nerdyverse of Madness. My name is Johnny Ward and I'm your host. I wanted to start this podcast because I have so many interests when it comes to certain fandoms. I've started a Dungeons & Dragons blog, a comic blog. I have had a reading blog, which was a little horror focused. I've had an action figure blog. I just had so many different ones, and I love it all. I can't devote all my attention to everything at one time, and I kind of jump from fandom to interest to hobby, kind of depending on my mood. I got ADD, pretty standard ADD symptom, but I just wanted to kind of create something where I could talk about anything or everything that I might love at any given moment. So that's basically how this started. You know, I've been a nerdy guy since I was about 3 or 4 years old when the 1990s Spider-Man series first aired. I remember it vividly. My dad was laying on the couch and I was playing with my toys on the carpet or something along those lines. And he said, "Here, take a look at this." And he handed me a TV Guide magazine. And there was this short little article about this new series that was coming out. And I remember looking at the picture and I saw Spider-Man's face. That red mask with black lines and white eyes is burned in my memory forever. I was immediately interested, and my mom set up our VCR to record the first episode. And I remember waking up and watching it, and I've been in love ever since. Every week my mom would record it, and every morning I would wake up and I'd rewatch that tape and I'd rewind it, and then the next following week I'd watch the 2 episodes or the 3 episodes, and eventually my mom started recording episodes of the 60s Spider-Man cartoon, you know, the classic, and I would watch those, and I watched that tape over and over and over, and it just kind of snowballed from there, you know. Watching the 90s Spider-Man, you eventually learn about the X-Men, which led me to learn about the Fantastic Four, and so on and so forth. And that small little love of Spider-Man kind of sparked a huge love for comics all over. I mean, I do lean a lot more towards Marvel, significantly, but I do love some DC. I mean, my top fandoms above everything, I have so much love for everything, but I do love Star Wars above and beyond everything else. Followed by that, I'd probably go with Dragon Ball, and then I'd rank third Marvel. But I mean, I love Dungeons and Dragons, I love kaiju stuff, Ultraman, Godzilla. I just feel like I'd be leaving something out, hence the creation of this podcast. Now, some of you might wonder why I went with Nerdyverse as opposed to Geekyverse or something along the lines of geek. I know back in the 90s, maybe the 80s, geek was kind of more towards what this podcast is all going to be about. I just prefer nerdy. Sounds better. I use nerdy to describe myself. It's 2023. The terms are pretty interchangeable now. As well as my good friend, shout out to Jaden Turner, you big guy. He prefers geek, and I just kind of wanted to tell him to go screw himself. So there's that. I don't really have many plans for this year other than this podcast. I'm also starting a Twitch channel. I should be doing my first stream this week. Might be doing it next week. Not entirely sure. I just going to record episodes about different topics or shows or a book I read, just all kinds of topics, and just talk about my love for these things. On top of that, I also want to highlight other creators that I think need more eyeballs. So be it authors, artists, cosplayers, whatever else you can think of. I have a few interviews lined up. Shout out to Tobin Elliott, author of the Aphotic series, which I'm going to touch on in a little bit. I got an interview with him booked for this Saturday. I also planned to interview SS Goshen 4, who is a huge Dragon Ball collector. I'm really excited to interview her. I got another horror author, Chaz Williams, who's agreed to do an interview. I'm going to interview a comic book store owner, some book bloggers, just whoever will. But the one that I'm most excited for that has agreed to do an interview is Ed Greenwood, the Ed Greenwood of Dungeons & Dragons fame, creator of the Forgotten Realms. Yes. Just trying to narrow something down with him. We're bouncing around a lot of ideas, so there's that. And the other plan I have for this year is to finish One Piece. Me and my son just started it. We're 62 episodes in, 63 episodes. We just finished the first season. I would like to get that done by 2025. I know it's a tall order, but I like to set my goals high. Aim for the moon and you land amongst the stars, or whatever the hell the saying is. So that is that. I wanted to keep this episode really short. I just wanted to get something out, give a quick introduction to everybody, say hello. If you're following along with this, a lot of my episodes are going to run in tandem with my blog, which you can find at the Nerdyverse of Madness.ca. It is live, but it's still under construction. I just wanted to start pumping out some content. You can follow me on socials at Instagram at Nerdyverse of Madness, on Twitch at Nerdyverse of Madness. I'm on Mastodon at Nerdyverse of Madness. I'm on Twitter. Twitter, I'm Nerdyverse as I am on Xbox. You can add me on there. I play a lot of Fortnite. You can find me on there at Nerdyverse I know I'm missing some, but I'm going to include it all in the show notes. It's all on the website. I make sure that following episodes I won't miss all that. So I want to close out each episode, if I can, with what I can gonna call a little known highlight. It's just gonna be a small tidbit on a piece of content or some sort of fandom that I don't think everyone is aware of. And I'm going to start with the Aphotic series by Tobin Elliott. Over the summer, I was running a bookstagram. I was doing a lot of reading at the time, and I was just kind of pumping out reviews. Met a lot of really cool people on there. I came across Tobin Elliott. He was the author of this little book that I kept seeing pop up called Bad Blood. It had really high reviews, it intrigued me, and then I saw him, he put an offer out where he was looking for some reviews in exchange for the book. So I said, hey, I'm interested. And I read Bad Blood. I think I read it in a day, maybe in a day and a half. Easy to read in one sitting type book about this 9-year-old girl, Talia Davis. And she's a very unhappy little girl. And I read that one. I was absolutely in love. Talia Davis is one of my favorite fictional characters of all time. It's a 6-book series. Some are a little longer. Some are really short novellas. But it has everything you could possibly want from a horror series. I mean, everything. It's got It's got some crazy people, telekinetic powers. It's got vampires. It's got werewolves. It's got real evil people, like nasty humans. It's got a little Lovecraftian elements. It's just got so many cool shit. I'm not going to dive too hard into it because I want to do that next week when I interview, or rather next episode when I interview Tobin. And we'll dive as deep into it as we can without getting spoilers. But if you can, before that episode, order Bad Blood and read that. You can find it everywhere. I know it's on Amazon. I'm pretty sure it's on Indigo, Barnes & Noble. I think it's on all of that. But yeah, check it out. We'll definitely talk more about that. If you've listened to this whole thing, I just want to thank you so much for that. And until next time, Johnny Ward signing out. Peace.
That is all for today, but what kind of discussions will the one and only Johnny Ward get himself into next time? Will he discover a new collection to spend all his money on, or something to read for the next year and get depressed when it's done? Find out next time on the Nerdyverse of Madness.